I was born in the Depression years, and things were difficult. My father was an Eastern Rite Catholic priest. It was a difficult life during the Depression years. And so there were so many people out on the street without jobs and homeless and alcoholics, etc. My mother was a very devout person, as was my father, and they gave of themselves. The priests weren't paid much during those days, but they were lucky to have people in the parish who gave eggs and bacon and bread and so on over, and garden food. So we always had something. Because I lived in a parish house, people came to the house knowing that, well, you know, they're going to give. And they were right. My mother was a very prepared person. She always had either sandwiches or home-baked cookies or something. And when they would knock on the door, she would ask them to sit down either on the steps or on the porch, and then eventually bring them some sandwiches and some coffee or whatever she had for them to drink, and encouragement. And I think from that and through the years, I learned how important it was to give of yourself. I thought of going away, maybe University of Pennsylvania, wherever, but we couldn't afford it, and I wanted to stay closer to home anyway. And so there was Marywood and Misericordia. So that was it. I wanted to go to Marywood, and I knew it was a good school. And I took what I call the Tunerville trolley from Pittston to Scranton, and it was really a funny chore, but I did it, and I loved Marywood. I loved the people that I met. I loved, of course, my teachers, my professors. I have had so many friends that through the years we've kept in touch through our Christmas cards and periodically call each other. And we've seen each other at our reunions. As I was working in the Poconos, I met my future husband. He was always interested in politics also. We didn't see each other early on because he was in Korea. But then when he came back, shortly after he proposed, and the rest is history. My first child was born in Michigan, but the rest, 4 daughters, were born here. And I fell in love with California. Years later, after my new marriage, he called my then husband, John, and I, and said, "What do you think if I run for mayor?" He was wonderful, and he knew what he liked, and he knew that what he did was very good for Los Angeles, and he still feels that way, very, very much. I think the causes to me are children who are hurting physically, mentally, and the elderly, and not just because I'm elderly, but there is so much child abuse and elderly abuse. And so many of the third world countries where these poor children, needly I say even to go to Syria, I mean, they have nothing to protect them. And I think we have, those who have the opportunity, we have the responsibility. Resurrection Missions of the South, that's in Montgomery, Alabama. And when I was in high school, my father, I would see him writing little things, little checks, or putting $5 in an envelope. And so one day I did happen to see this Resurrection Mission, Father Walter's school, and he put a $5 bill in. So we talked about that, and he said, "Oh, I've been helping this mission for a while." So I started putting my $5 or whatever it was. And through the years, I just continued with them. And I went through probably 4 directors of the mission. And they have a school, they have a Catholic school, and they have a home for the elderly, for geriatrics. And again, so I started thinking of various people. And I remember that my husband and I would go to a restaurant, Marmalade, in Malibu, and we saw Flip Wilson there regularly. And I adored Flip Wilson because he saw me through some very tough times, and he made me laugh. And we talked to him often, and he was very, very friendly. And he was a big tipper. He would give $40. I mean, I would see him give two 20s to the waitress, but he said, "It's my turn to give back." Flip said he would go down there, and they raised the money. So that was very special to me. You know, we all talk about education and the importance of education, and of course, I believe so strongly that it's true. In a school that surrounds the importance of love, nurturing, and giving, this is what Marywood gave me, and I was so proud when I graduated from there. We weren't numbers. We were who we were, and each person was a very special person, and each student had a unique thing to give, and that's because that's how they taught us. And I think it is the fact that it was unique, and Marywood is. And I love being a graduate of Marywood. Very special.